You ever catch yourself bending just a little too much for someone? Telling stories you've never told before? Opening wounds that haven't healed? All because it felt right in the moment? But later, you walk away from that conversation, to feeling like you gave away a piece of yourself. See, most men don't lose themselves all at once. It happens in small moments, moments where they think they're being honest, but really they're looking for validation. Let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with being open, but when you hand someone the full map of your past, before they've even earned your trust, you risk giving them the power to weaponize it later. This is exactly why Stoicism matters so much today. Because smart men don't just react, they reflect, they pause, and they ask themselves, is this helping me stay in control of my emotions, or am I outsourcing my peace to someone else? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. That's not just a quote, that's a lifeline. Before we begin, I'd appreciate it if you liked the video so you can help me continue spreading Stoic philosophy. If you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do so and activate the bell so you don't miss future videos on Stoicism. This video isn't about blaming women or swearing off love. It's about keeping your center of gravity, about becoming a man who doesn't lose himself just to be liked, a man who's calm under pressure, firm in his values, and quietly powerful. Today, we're going to break down 9 things smart men simply don't do with women, not because they're weak, but because they've chosen to live strong. Let's get into it. Point 1, oversharing your past. There's something oddly comforting about telling someone everything, your childhood pain, the betrayal that still lingers, the regrets that never quite left you. But here's the hard truth. Oversharing isn't honesty. It's often unfiltered emotional dumping disguised as vulnerability. Smart men know this. They know that their past is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves a tour through it. Epictetus said, keep your philosophy to yourself until people are ready for it. And the same goes for your scars. Let me paint a picture. You meet someone. New, things click, there's chemistry. You feel seen, maybe for the first time in a while, so you start opening up. Too much, too soon. You share that thing you never even told your closest friends, and at first it feels good, but then they pull away. The energy changes. Suddenly, what once felt like connection becomes caution. That's not because you were too deep or too real. It's because depth without earned trust feels like pressure, like you're handing them your heart and saying, please be careful with this. And they haven't even decided if they like you yet. This is where Stoicism steps in. It teaches you to pause, to ask yourself, is this necessary right now? And more importantly, does this serve me? Or am I just afraid of being misunderstood? Real strength isn't in bleeding out your history. It's in choosing what to protect. You are not your trauma. You are what you've built despite it. Tell me in the comments. Have you ever shared too much too soon? What happened? Be selective, be steady, and remember, what's private is powerful. Let's move on. Point 2, not fearing being alone. There's a quiet fear a lot of men carry, not of failure, not of rejection, but of being alone. And that fear, it makes them stay in the wrong relationships and say yes when they mean no, settle for less, all just to avoid silence. But here's the thing, solitude isn't your enemy, it's your training ground. Seneca once said, It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it, and wasting your life trying to fill the empty space beside you. That's the real tragedy. I know a guy, good man, sharp mind, but he jumped from relationship to relationship, not because he loved them, but because being alone made him anxious. He needed someone to reflect back a sense of worth. But here's what happened. The more he avoided being alone, the more he lost sight of who he was without someone else defining him. Smart men do the opposite. They sit with themselves. They get comfortable with quiet. They learn to enjoy their own company, not because they've given up on love, but because they refuse to settle out of fear. When you start building a life you actually enjoy living alone, that's when you stop chasing attention and start commanding respect. Solitude teaches discipline. It gives you perspective, and most of all, it gives you power. Because when you're no longer afraid to be alone, you're no longer afraid to walk away from anything. Have you ever stayed in something longer than you should have? Just because being alone felt scarier? Let me know in the comments. Stand in your own space, not to prove a point, but to remember who you are without distractions. Next up, let's talk about your time and how smart men don't give it away so easily. Point 3. Not giving all your time and energy away to someone. You ever notice how easily time slips through your hands, especially when you're caught up in someone new? At first, it feels exciting. You're texting all day, changing your plans, pushing things around just to make space for them. Before you know it, you're neglecting your workout. You haven't seen your friends in weeks. Your personal goals are gathering dust. Seneca had something powerful to say about this. He wrote, "People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to wasting time, they are most wasteful of the one thing in which it is right to be stingy." Let that sink in. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and yet so many men throw it away trying to impress someone, trying to be available 24/7. Like that's a sign of commitment, but it's not. It's a sign that you've forgotten the value of your own time. I had a friend once who was chasing a woman like his life depended on it. He'd cancel meetings, delay his side hustle, even skip his family events, all just to be there for her. And guess what? She didn't respect it. Because when you treat your time like it's cheap, others will too. Smart men don't give all of themselves away. They manage their energy. They set boundaries. They know that love shouldn't come at the cost of self-respect or progress. I want to know, have you ever found yourself giving all your time to someone else? How did it feel? Time is your life. Don't donate it like it's spare change. Let's keep going, because the next point is all about remembering to celebrate your wins, no matter who's watching. Point 4. Not downplaying your achievements to gain approval. Some men shrink themselves just to fit into someone else's comfort zone. They downplay their wins, hide their ambition, act like they're not proud of what they've built, all because they're afraid it might intimidate someone, or worse, push them away. But here's what smart men understand. Approval that costs you your confidence isn't worth having. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others, unless it has some bearing on the common good." Translation: stop worrying about how others perceive your success. Live in your truth. I remember a guy who got a major promotion. Huge deal. But when he told the woman he was dating, he watered it down, made it sound like just another step, because she had once said she didn't like career-obsessed men. He didn't celebrate. He didn't let himself feel proud. He robbed himself of a moment he'd earned. That's not humility. That's fear in disguise. Smart men celebrate their wins, not loudly, not arrogantly, but quietly, fully, without guilt, because when you start dulling your shine to make someone else comfortable, you become less of yourself and more of what they want you to be. Real partners will stand beside you, not above you, not behind you, and never beneath your light. So I'll ask you, have you ever hidden your success just to be accepted? And did it make you feel stronger or smaller? Let me know in the comments. Be proud of your progress, honor your discipline, and never apologize for the man you're becoming. Let's keep moving, because next up, we're talking about something far more valuable than money, your mental peace. Point 5. Not sacrificing your mental health to make someone else happy. You can care about someone deeply. You can want them to feel loved, safe, heard. But the moment you start burning yourself out just to keep them warm, you're no longer being loving. You're being self-destructive. I knew a guy who was in a relationship that looked great from the outside. Smiles on social media, date nights, good vibes. But what people didn't see was that he was constantly walking on eggshells, always adjusting, always apologizing, always drained. His sleep was off. He stopped journaling. His energy plummeted. He was anxious all the time, all because he was trying to be the perfect partner, even if it cost him his peace. Stoicism reminds us, you can't control how others act, only how you respond. And if your response is constantly self-sacrifice, that's not virtue. That's neglecting your own soul. Epictetus taught that we must guard our minds like we guard our homes. You wouldn't let someone walk in and tear up your living room. So why let someone trample through your mental space? Smart men protect their peace. They recognize the signs of emotional exhaustion, and they don't ignore them. Relationships should challenge you, yes, but they should never destroy you. There's a big difference between effort and erosion. Have you ever caught yourself pouring so much into someone else that there was nothing left for you? Drop your experience in the comments. Your peace is not negotiable, not for love, not for loyalty, not for anyone. Up next, let's talk about the power of saying no and why that one word can save your identity. Point 6, not saying yes to things that betray your values or boundaries. There's a subtle kind of self-betrayal that doesn't make headlines. It's not dramatic. It doesn't explode. It just eats away at you slowly. And it starts with a simple word. Yes. Yes to things you don't agree with. Yes to things that make you uncomfortable. Yes, when every part of you wanted to say no. I get it. You don't want to disappoint her. You want to keep the peace. You want to look easygoing, but here's the cost. Every time you betray your boundaries to please someone else, you chip away at your integrity, and eventually you won't even recognize the man in the mirror. Seneca once said, "No man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself." Sometimes adversity shows up as a decision, a choice between being honest or being agreeable. I remember a guy who told me he started going to events he hated, skipped his morning workouts, laughed at jokes he didn't find funny just to keep the connection going. But it didn't last, because you can only pretend for so long. Eventually the mask slips, and worse, you resent them, even though it was you who kept saying yes. Smart men set boundaries early, not to control others, but to protect themselves. It's not about being rigid, it's about being real. When was the last time you said yes when you wanted to say no? Tell me in the comments. Saying no isn't rejection, it's self-respect in action. And if that makes someone pull away, good. You just made space for someone who values the real you. Next, let's talk about why you should never give up your path, just to walk someone else's. Point 7. Not abandoning your goals or dreams to chase someone else's path. There's a quiet kind of heartbreak most men never talk about. It's not the pain of rejection. It's the pain of abandoning yourself, of putting your dreams on pause, your goals on hold, your vision on the back shelf. All because someone said, "That's not realistic," or worse, "I just don't see you that way." And before you know it, you're editing your life just to fit inside their story. Epictetus said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." But what happens when you skip the first part? When you forget to decide who you want to be, because you're too busy adapting to what someone else wants. I once knew a guy who wanted to move abroad. He had the job lined up, the plan, the fire. But the woman he was seeing didn't want to leave her hometown, so he stayed, told himself it was love. 2 years later, they weren't together. And that opportunity gone. And even though he didn't say it out loud, you could see it in his eyes. He didn't regret the breakup. He regretted giving up on himself. Smart men don't shrink their world to make someone else feel secure. They don't walk away from their mountain just because someone else is afraid of heights. Have you ever changed direction in life to make someone else happy, and later felt like a stranger to yourself? Drop your story in the comments. Relationships should complement your journey, not cancel it. Your path matters, your dreams matter, and if someone can't walk beside you, let them walk away. Now let's talk about the people who've been there all along, your friends and family. Point 8. Not pushing away. Friends and family. Just to make one person happy. You know what's wild? Some men will go to war for a relationship, and in the process, they abandon the people who would have gone to war for them. It starts small. Missing a dinner with your parents, skipping a friend's birthday, not texting back your brother or your boys because you're caught up. But soon, the only person left in your world is her, and everyone else has been pushed to the sidelines. Plato once compared people to different kinds of soil. Some nourish you, some drain you. And the truth is, friends and family, the real ones, they're the fertile ground where your character grew. I remember a guy who fell hard for someone. At first it was good, but gradually he became harder to reach. He ghosted old friends. And when people called him out, he said, "I'm just focused on my relationship right now." But guess what? When the relationship ended, he looked around and the room was empty, because smart men don't trade long-term loyalty for short-term attachment. They maintain their tribe. They stay grounded in community. Your people matter. The ones who knew you before the romance. The ones who'll be there long after it. Have you ever lost touch with important people because of a relationship? Tell me in the comments. And if you got them back, a woman who truly respects you will respect the people who built you. She won't make you choose. Stay connected. Check in with your roots, because you'll need those roots when the storms come. Now let's talk about obsession and why no one should become the center of your universe. Point 9. Not becoming obsessively fixated on one person. There's a fine line between love and obsession. And once you cross it, you don't feel like yourself anymore. You feel like a shadow, constantly orbiting around someone else. You're not thinking about your goals. You're thinking about what they're doing, what they're thinking, why they haven't replied. Your mind isn't your own anymore. You've rented it out, and you're not even charging for it. Marcus Aurelius once warned, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." So what happens when all your thoughts are centered on someone else? You start losing your color, your light, your balance. I knew a guy who fell headfirst into something intense. He stopped painting, stopped working out, even stopped spending time with his dog. His entire identity began to wrap itself around one woman. When she was distant, he spiraled. When she was close, he felt high. It was emotional whiplash, and he called it love. But love doesn't consume you. Love adds to your life. It doesn't become your life. Smart men don't idolize people. They value them, but they never forget to value themselves first. Have you ever caught yourself making someone else your world? Let me know in the comments. It's okay to care deeply, but never let that care turn into captivity. Keep your passions alive. Keep your mind focused. Stay rooted in your own identity. You weren't born to orbit around someone else's emotional gravity. You were made to shine in your own right. And now, to close this out, let's take everything we've covered and bring it home with one final reflection. If there's one thing Stoicism teaches us, it's that true strength isn't loud, it isn't aggressive, and it doesn't come from controlling others. It comes from controlling yourself. And in relationships, that's what smart men understand. They don't chase approval. They don't lose sleep over mixed signals. They don't abandon their values just to keep someone close. They build their lives with intention, and they let others join that life, not define it. Each of these 9 points we walked through today, they're not rules to play games. They're reminders to protect your peace, to protect your time, and most of all, to protect your sense of self. You're not here to shrink yourself. You're not here to prove your worth. You're here to walk your path with presence and let the right people walk beside you, not pull you off course. Marcus Aurelius didn't write for likes. Seneca didn't teach to win someone over. And Epictetus didn't study the mind to become more dateable. They sought truth, inner strength, and a life grounded in clarity. That's what Stoicism offers you. Not a strategy for romance, but a strategy for living calmly, boldly, unapologetically. If you've made it this far, thank you for walking through this journey with me. If you found value in this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future insights on Stoicism and self-improvement. And if any of these lessons hit home for you, let me know in the comments. Your thoughts might help another man find his way back to himself. Remember, you are not here to be a background character in someone else's story. You are the author of your own. Write it wisely, live it fully, and stay grounded, stay sharp, stay stoic.